Dear Darcy, one thing I struggle with in my relationship is balancing my natural tendency of being proactive and taking care of what needs to be done with giving my partner an opportunity to take ownership of things. I believe that when people see that one person is on top of things or knows what needs to be done, they naturally end up being less proactive since they know the other person's got it. However, this eventually makes me resentful. I end up doing a lot, and I have a lot of responsibility to make sure we're on track and not letting something slip. All of this contributes to my mental burden and stress levels, which translates into strained affection in the relationship. I know I contribute to this by proactively doing so many things and not giving my partner an opportunity to handle things. Do you have any tips on breaking the cycle? I've tried explicitly not doing something like taking out the trash or communicating about a social event we're going to give my partner an opportunity to do it. But I find myself still spending mental bandwidth on it. Like, is he going to do it? When should I step in? And plus, we have different levels of comfort regarding when something should be done by. I like security and leaving a buffer. He may feel more comfortable with doing things last minute and as needed. Thank you so much, proactive partner. All right, gorgeous question. All right, we've got a lot of beautiful things to look at with this. Let's dive right in. You asked, do I have any tips on you breaking this cycle? Yes, absolutely. Okay. I want to point out you're very aware. You're aware of your tendency to be proactive, to know what gets to be done. And like you said, you like security and leaving a buffer. He is different. He has a different comfort level of when something should be done by, and he's more comfortable doing things last minute and as needed. Herein lies the tension. Okay, and the tension comes, as I'm hearing it, from the difference that the two of you have of how and when you get things done by. And it sounds like for you, his way flares some anxiety, flares a nervousness that, hit on how you like to have a sense of security, and you get that security from having a buffer. It sounds like he's not that way, and he must draw his sense of security from other things. Herein lies a place of growth, potentially for you, and a place to open. And the gift of the commitment in the relationship and the relationship itself is the thing that's going to help you with this growth. All right? Whew. All right, so just holding all of that. All right, so what I want to ask you to do first is we're going to do this all with you being in a connective place of what I would like to see as like the bubble of your relationship with him. Okay, so I want you to just take a moment. Maybe you close your eyes. Maybe you take a nice deep breath. And you just hold the connection in the relationship. I want you to feel into what originally attracted you to each other. What you attracted you to him. Was it his sense of humor? Was it the way that he makes you feel? What was it in that initial connection? What was it? What is it that's really alive for you in this connection that you share with him? And I want you to just kind of bring that into this bubble with you. It's the bubble of your connection, your relationship. And I want you to feel your commitment into the relationship, your commitment to yourself, to him, as you hold the work that you're going to do here. Okay? And the work first involves this spot where you hold that there's a difference between the two of you. A difference in the speed that you accomplish things. I want you to be in this bubble of relationship together. And then I want you to feel yourself bringing this issue to it. And I hear you that when you take on the responsibility for both of you to make sure everything gets done, you get resentful. It adds so much to your stress and to your mental load that it strains the relationship between you. And I hear that you desire to release the resentment, build the affection between the two of you, and be able to accomplish your shared goals, dreams, plans together. Right? You want to get things done but you don't want to feel the resentment. Okay. So a way I want you to work this is to take a moment in that bubble of relationship and just hold that you're going to be bringing a difference to it. Often we'll have there's a difference and we can easily go into judgment about like my way is best and your way is terrible and we got to get your way to be more like my way so we can get, so we can move forward in harmony, right? And instead, I want to release that judgment around it. I want you to try even just like 10, 15% to release the judgment and just hold that you're bringing into your relationship bubble that the two of you have a different way of accomplishing things and a different way of getting things done. You've already, been aware of your way and his way. Okay? And I want you to hold that you're just going to be bringing this to this space and looking to see how the two of you can have a harmonious relationship without the resentment, but still be able to accomplish things. Okay? That's what we're setting at the altar, we could say. How to have a harmonious relationship without the resentment, but still be excellent at accomplishing things. How cool will that be? Right? What a beautiful vision. Okay, so hold that vision. That's where you're going to. All right, so now I want you to become like a detective. You're going to go on a fact-finding mission. Okay, and detectives need to be neutral in their work so that they can actually find out the facts. You see that you appreciate your way of doing things. It provides a buffer, it helps you feel more secure. You have all the reasons that you really enjoy your way of doing it. Okay, and his way is different. Okay, you see that he waits more till the last minute. So I want you to go into a fact-finding mission, like a neutral detective. And in your fact-finding mission, you're looking at, all right, even as he does it his way, does it 90% of the time or so, does it get accomplished? Does it still happen? Or does it fall on the floor if I don't intervene? Okay, this is really an important measure. This measure tells you, if truly things would not get accomplished if you just step back and let him do it his way. All right, this is a really important distinction because if you find that if you don't get involved or aren't thinking about it or mentally keeping tabs and checking in, if you're finding that things truly fall on the floor, then that's a piece that needs to be brought up together with him. Okay, where is there a breakdown? And as much as you can be like loving and supportive as you do this, truly on a fact-finding mission, where is there a breakdown? I had asked you to do this thing and it didn't end up getting done. So where was there a breakdown? Is it that it doesn't matter to you and that'd be an important thing for me to know in this? And that you said you do it, but really you were like, oh, I don't think it's that important and you didn't really intend to do it. That would be important to find out, right? Also, it would be important, for instance, to find out if when he said yes, he totally meant to do it, but then it just was like a lack of organization or a lack of having the time, or what was the gap? What was the issue in him accomplishing it? Is there a way that he can support himself in getting more organized or setting time aside? Like, what would be a way that would be helpful to help him close that gap? So if he meant yes when he said yes, but then wasn't able to accomplish it for some issue over here, is there a gap he can fill? And maybe that just information gathering for him could be helpful. It will certainly be helpful for you to see where are the places that you can help him close the gaps on getting things done and then be able to actually accomplish it. Even if he does it his way, right? Even if he waits longer than you would wait or whatever it might be, how can you help him to, by the end of the day, accomplish the task? So that's a way, for instance, your proactiveness actually has an outlet of finding out what is the place that all of it's falling on the floor and it's not getting accomplished. Your proactiveness actually has a place to focus itself and a way to be helpful. Okay, versus that just holding it all in your head and stressing about it and kind of being in that intense thinking swirl, right? This is a way that you could actually like use that thinking, that proactiveness to be helpful. All right, but let's say, for instance, when you do your detective mission and you look at, all right, when I ask him to do something, yes, he does it his way. Yes, he waits longer than I'm comfortable with, but 90% of the time he gets the task done. Okay, fascinating. All right, let's look at that scenario. If that's what you see, then your job is to look back to yourself to say, all right, use that data as a, very helpful, logical way to remind yourself when you give him a task and he is taking a while to do it or not doing it the way you would most like, remind yourself in this relationship, there's space for both of us. In this relationship, we can hold difference between us and even find ways to appreciate difference. Okay, so support yourself with thoughts like that. And your job is to soothe the parts of you that get anxious or nervous that something's not going to be accomplished because it's not done in the timeline that you like most. All right. And you might say to yourself, even though this is not being done in the timeline that I most like or is most calming for my nervous system, I want to give him the space to do it his way. And maybe you even support yourself with a sense of like, I really like in our relationship how we give each other the freedom to be ourselves. All right, so those things might help you and soothe you as you feel into the fact that he has a difference here in how he accomplishes the things. All right, what I also want you to notice, okay, this is the place of appreciation. If you're in that zone where he is doing it his way, doing it more last minute, but end of the day, he does get it accomplished. If it is that scenario where he's able to accomplish things in his timeline, in his way, but he does get it done 90% of the time, then I want you to work something within yourself that's going to be helpful. And that's where you choose the things that you ask him to help you with. I want them to be things that feel rather small. I want you to do experiments on this, okay? So things that if they don't occur, don't get accomplished, it's not the end of the world. That's going to help your nervous system not get too flared up when he's taking longer to do it than you're comfortable with. It's like your playground. This is your experimental laboratory, right? What I want you to do is I want you to be actually really interested and really curious. Be like, I wonder what gifts I'm going to find in the way he's doing it. Okay, because it's one thing to like kind of have a like, I can be tolerant of this, right? Like, I can tolerate that he does this in a slower fashion, which if that's what we get to, fine, that's better than resentful, right? It's better than like mentally strained and the affection like oozing out of draining out of the relationship from it. Being able to be like, okay, I can like hold this decently, right? I can kind of tolerate it, right? That's one place to get to. But wouldn't it be cool if you got to a place where you actually like really appreciated him for this different way of doing it? Where you were actually like, wow, the process of just letting go and letting you do that, even as you were waiting so long to get started, it really has me feeling this or thinking about this, or it really like shows me or teaches me this thing about this. Okay? This is where you're on a like, I wonder what unexpected gifts I'm going to find specifically because he does this thing differently than me. All right? This is the real stretch. All right? Really like challenge yourself here. I would love to hear from you what you find here or what gets stuck here so I can help you through it or help you with it. Where do you notice it could actually be very helpful for you? Even if you don't 100% believe it quite yet, where do you sense like, if I were able to really embrace his way of doing this, it could be helpful for me in this or that or whatever kind of way. Just hold that possibility and see what might want to come up there. Okay? Because again, through the gift of this relationship and the commitment you have to your relationship in this relationship bubble, it is a place for growth and expansion for both of you. All right? And this difference is here to help you to grow and expand in ways that are really beneficial for you, in ways we don't necessarily know right now what those are, but we get to be incredibly curious about it. And you hold with strength and intention, focus and rigor, that in this process, it is all about creating a harmonious relationship without resentment, where the two of you accomplish your shared goals, dreams, and visions, right? Hold that as you go through these steps I was just describing, and let me know how this goes. I cannot wait to hear how this lands, what happens as you start to work it, and then we'll take it from there. All right. Oh, I hope that was helpful. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.